Buddy, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited. Welcome. Welcome to the December 22nd Recreation Circle. For those of you who are new to me or my work, I am Dawn Richerson. DawnRicherson.com is my website, and that's spelled DawnRicherson. I am a soul explorer, a journey guide. I offer online soul journeys and experiences, and I lead Soul of Ireland retreats in 2016. So I hope that you will consider meeting me in Ireland for just a delightful experience. It's truly a magical land, and we will be doing more events at this Google Hangout page on Soul of Ireland, and also just to connect us into opportunities for further soul growth and expansion. So, without further ado, a little bit more about my specific way of moving through these recreation circles or any live event, really. I like to follow my intuition. So I mix it up sometimes and I just kind of go with where the spirit leads. And I honor your desire and intention to do the same. So feel free to settle in. If you are watching this in the archive, you may want to, first of all, grab some pen and paper because we'll be doing some creative exercises. I've got a little candle here that reminds me that I am always connected to my light. So during the recreation circles in particular, that's a great practice. So what are recreation circles? Recreation circles are for all those who are desiring a deeper, authentic connection with one another and an honoring of simply being on the way together. We will gather for monthly recreation circles in 2016 on the first Sunday of each month. Those will probably happen at 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, Eastern Standard Time, and that would be 7 p.m. London or UK time. So look forward to offering those. This recreation circle will be slightly different. And so join me January the 3rd, I believe, is the first Sunday of the month. So recreation circles is really a time just to come together, heart to heart, soul to soul, to connect within to the light, life, and love we are at our core, and then to just honor one another, to see one another, to be present to one another. And in 2016, I have chosen the theme for my own further exploration of the play of light. And we will also be exploring that theme on the Soul of Ireland retreats. So loosely, these recreation circles will weave in and out of this larger theme of the play of light. And today is the winter solstice, and we are bringing our attention to the theme of waiting for the light. So all recreation circles this year, 2000 and the coming year, 2016, will offer an opportunity to experience the play of light in you and through you. So I welcome you, and I'm excited to be doing these. A few technical notes. One, I'm recording this as a backup, so if there's any snafus on my end or yours, don't worry, you'll have access to the recording, and you can access that through my website. Just look for the most recent blog post, and you'll follow the instructions to connect, and I'll send out the link and post it on the Google Hangout page as well. So a little about today's circle. Today is the winter solstice, and we will explore the theme waiting for the light. Today's call, as are all recreation circles, is really an invitation to the dance of your life. It is an opportunity to open up a space for you to experience you. And that is the same opportunity that will be available to you on the Soul of Ireland retreats, for those of you who are joining me to learn more about those. So right now, I just want to share a loose outline of what we may do today, and then, as I said, we will adapt as needed. So I'll probably open with a poem. I'll often open these circles with a poem, a prayer, or a promise. And then we will do an essential connection practice that I like to do, and I'll lead you through that. Then we will, I'll raise the focus topic or question. Today's theme is waiting for the light. And I'll do a little soul share or soul streaming on that topic. And then sometimes we'll open it up to conversation and questions. to be honest, that's a little much. I was hoping to be outside today, which always helps me when I can do that. And I'm looking forward to being back in Ireland and doing these circles from there. But today I'm inside, as you can see, and I just felt like the managing the chat and all the different functions was probably a little much today. So we're going to keep it pretty simple, and but know that there is a circle of women right here, right now. I know some of you will be joining in archive. There are a lot of winter solstice opportunities going on, and I'm just so excited about the expansion of the energy for all of us. And so, whether you're watching this live or in archive, this is a larger circle. So know that we are connected one to another. And I like to imagine just those infinity loops circling in and out and ever expanding. And there's just a real flow and flux to the energy of who we are together. So after we do a little centering on the topic of the day, which is waiting for the light, I will offer some soul connection questions and possibly a brief process to really connect us to the light we are within. And then may draw a card or two. I may offer a daily life seed from the Seeds for Life book and the Life Seeds core curriculum. And then we're going to play some. We're going to do a few creative processes today. We will do some soul essence art exploration, which is an intuitive process that I really developed for myself that is something that I often share in retreats and journeys. And then we will do some intuitive story weaving, which is far and away one of the favorite things that I hear feedback back from any gatherings. When we do this story weaving, something really powerful happens. And I believe I'm holding the intention that this can translate one-on-one through this medium of technology, and I hope that you will consider joining me for a live experience as well, because it's really powerful when we come together. Once we've done a few of those creative processes and just played at some ways to connect on a deeper level with the light that we are and all that is there in your soul waiting to be discovered, we will talk about opportunities for further soul connection, including the Soul of Ireland retreats, and then I'll close our circle with another poem likely today. So that is the plan for today. So let's take a moment to get centered, and I invite you to just close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Let that first breath be a breath to connect you to the source of light within you. And then another deep breath. Let the second breath connect you to all of the lights gathered here, each one of us bringing something unique, a unique expression of divine light to this circle of wise women. And finally, a third breath in through the nose and out through the mouth to connect you to all the circles of life that are infinitely expanding. Just envision that for a moment. Envision that expansion to which we belong. So I'm going to open us with a poem. First, I'm going to do a little drumming. And as I open and read the words of this poem, which is called We Gather as Women, I want to invite you to consider what it is you bring as a bearer of light to this reality. What is your play of light? What's your unique expression of divine light? If you don't know, then ask your wise woman within and just trust whatever arises in this moment. We gather as women. We gather as women, strong and wise, courageous bearers of a light that will not be consumed. We break bread and stories. We remember the way in which we have walked. We gather as women, resilient in our innocence, tending the fragile flower of a hope that longs to blossom full, to awaken us to all that awaits. We drink of this life and celebrate that there is more life to be lived. We gather as women, knowing in our bones there is a song rising even now from ash, and it will not be silenced or squandered in busyness. In communion, we are present to strands of story shared. From the one heart, we gather in sacred circles and rise up, calling forth our full humanity, our whole divinity, showering our lives with laughter and with tears. From the one soul, we weave the world in the womb of this hallowed moment, and the space between it and all that comes next, using all the colors and textures that make us who we are. We gather as women, laying to rest all that has bound us, all that has reduced us to powder, and all that has ripped us from the arms of love, and we wait for the miracle. We gather as women to say, I love you, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you, thank you, thank you for seeing me here. We thank the light, the hope, and the song, and the beauty of this way. So that's a poem that I wrote years ago that's still very special to me. It reminds me of how we are as women connected in unique ways. You know, the trees in Ireland often remind me of that as I'm walking in the fairy forest that I like to explore, which you will see if you come to the Soul of Ireland events. And I'm just reminded of how strong we are. And there is something tender. There is that tender flower of hope that is opening up. And particularly in this time of the year, of the season that we're in, I think that is even more true. So today, on this winter solstice, we gather as women to be present to what is and to one another, to honor one another as we are on the way together. And we also want to honor our individual souls' journey. And in that gathering together, we're really celebrating the soul collective and humanity's freedom from all the ties that would bind us. We are strong and we bring our presence here and now to all that is unfolding in our individual hearts and souls, and for all that is being revealed for humanity itself. Our shared desire is to be the change that we wish to see by connecting to wholeness, deeply connecting to our core, and finding a whole new way together. We rise to meet the new dawn and see our soul's star. STAR is an acronym I like to use for our soul's truth and radiance. So just for a moment, see your soul star rising from within you. Let this be a time of the light coming forth, being born within you. We step full into a river of rainbows. We dare to enter the secret garden of our souls, and we come to bear witness to our journeys, to each of our own essential, unique journeys that together make this beautiful pattern. And together we are changing the world by being the light we are. So today I want to invite us also to just feel the tender mercies of becoming and to open up to that process, to just be where we are in it. So to further connect us, I like to do something that I call an essential connection practice. And you can participate in this at your level of comfort as we have these circles. You can just simply contemplate the invitations, and in future calls we may actually do this live and contribute an essential word, an essential gift, and an essential question to the group. So today I want us to envision what those are for each of us and offer that to the group, and know that whenever you're listening to this call, that same energy that you are bringing forth is felt and received by all in the circle. So your essential word is the first thing I want to invite you to connect with. Your essential word is really an offering to connect to the energy of where you are, and then to lovingly bring that into your awareness, accepting whatever is. So your essential word may speak to something that is present for you in this day, or it may also call forth a quality within you that you wish to really nourish and bring forward, or something you want to manifest more of in your life. So you can connect to this. It's very loose and free flowing. So right now, I just want you to take a moment and connect in with a word that arises. So my essential word, as an example, is radiance. It's something I am longing to experience in my life. And so what word is it that you would add to our circle? And just take a moment to either speak that word silently or to share it to the circle. So your essential word. The second essential in this connection practice is your essential gift. And this one is really fun. Your essential gift is an offering that connects to the energy of the group, and it adds your own fine gift of original design in the moment. So this can be something very simple. You can look around and choose a physical object that you would like to share, or you can bring forward something from your imagination. So as an example, you might choose. So I'm just going to reach over and grab. I happen to have on my desk here the skull that I found in Ireland. It could be something like that, or a precious stone, a candle, your pet rock. It could be anything. It can be something silly or something serious. So today, my essential gift to share with you is a star of wonder. Let this star represent your soul's truth and radiance, and connect with the golden reflected light of this many-faceted star, and consider how that is representative of your soul. So take a moment and just silently offer up your essential gift to our group. I don't know about you, but I felt that. So thank you for your gifts. And the third essential in the essential connection practice is an essential question. So your essential question is an offering that may be related to a dream or desire that you have for your life right now. It could also be drawn from a situation in your present reality, in everyday life, or in the world at large. So there may be some wish for the world that you wish to explore further through a question. Or perhaps there is a question that you have about the direction that you are taking, or something else that is a situation in your everyday life, a relationship, a job situation, just anything to do with next steps or choices that you're desiring to make in your life. So consider an essential question. So an example might be, what is my next step? That's a very simple one. Or what do I need to know about how I'm feeling about XYZ situation, or about a particular relationship? How can I? So think of questions that really connect you to the energy of movement, the energy of meaning, movement, and forward momentum in your life. So take a moment and offer up your essential question. And actually, if you have some paper nearby, go ahead and write that question down. We're going to come back to that. We're going to circle back and do a really cool creative exercise toward the end of our call. So just write down any question and let that be. This is really an opportunity for us to welcome whatever arises in the moment wherever you find yourself to be. So today, here, we're at this point in the year where darkness meets light. What is it that you're ready to release, to let go of, to just unburden your heart and soul? Consider what you would like to release. Maybe take a moment to just do a movement with your hands that opens you up and physically releases that energy of whatever you've been holding on to, or whatever has felt contracted or uncomfortable in any way. And then consider what would you like to receive? What would you like to receive from our circle? We are standing here strong together with one another in a circle. And what would you like to receive for yourself, and from this circle of women, and from the greater world that is a world of light? It doesn't seem so sometimes, and I know many of us at this time of year, which is actually a season of light, right? And so fabulous and wonderful in many, many ways, and joyous, truly, truly joyous and miraculous. Yet many of us have, because of the situation in the world at large, and because of perhaps our own lives or our own journeys, there are moments when, you know, the intensity of both the light and what seems to be ever working against the light in our perception, it can be intense at times. I think the energy has certainly been intense recently for me, and so just allow that to be and really open yourself up to release and receive. So waiting for the light. We're entering where we actually have passed the darkest day of the year. And we're gathering together just as many did in ancient times to really be present to the coming light and to open ourselves to light. And so we welcome that light. And winter solstice is really a turning point. It's a transition. We've just moved through the darkest night of the year, and it's a threshold moment. So I want you to consider for a moment, what is the threshold that you're standing at right now in your life? Where is that? Where is that moment where it literally seems that you're surrounded by darkness? And where is the light wanting to break forth? And how is the light wanting to break forth from within you? So I'm going to raise a lot of questions today. I'm feeling that very strongly. Didn't plan that necessarily, but I want you to just be with that. And if you want to take this time just to journal, do that, or just be silent and be present to yourself, and let us hold the space for you. So the winter solstice, again, it's a time of transition. It's a threshold. And it seems appropriate, actually, now that I think about it, that we are having our first recreation circle in a long time anyway that I've done online on the winter solstice. We're really completing something. There's an element of completion, and we are allowing ourselves to honor what has been and then release it so that we might really welcome and open to the new. So how will we meet this moment? How will you meet this moment in your life? So how are we being invited? And think about you particularly, and then we as a circle of women. How are we being invited to seek the light within and to know ourselves as light? And what is it that we remember about that we might call forth right now from our wise woman within, that we might take that journey that we've each individually been on and the journey we've collectively been on, that we might take the seeds of the great learning that we have tapped into and bring them forward at this time in the history of humanity and in our own individual circles. How can we be that light? There's a lot of conflict energy right now at play in the world. You know, there's certainly, anywhere you look, you can see evidence of sort of that battle. And it can be very frenetic and chaotic, and it can be a source of distraction if we allow it to be. It can also be an invitation. So more than ever before, it feels like to me that we are being invited to choose what kind of world we want to live in. So what kind of world do we want to live in? Let's come together and just be present as we're waiting for the light. And let's make it an active waiting. You know, the ancient Greeks had two words for time, and the words were chronos and kairos. And chronos time was all about the chronological or sequential time. It was, you know, the clock, the minutes, the days, the hours, the ways we measure time. And then there was this thing called kairos. And kairos really suggested a mysterious quality, sort of an undefinable time, if you will, in which everything happens, sometimes at once. It just unfolds. It's the revelation of a mystery. And Kairos time allows us, Kairos time is also affected by the one living it. So, in other words, what you bring to the moment informs what unfolds. So what are you bringing to this moment in your life, to this circle of women? And what's your desire? What do you wish to unfold now for yourself? It's really up to us how we meet any given time in our lives. And so let's take a moment now just to honor what's being born within us. Take a moment just to maybe put your hand on your heart and feel that. Feel that. We begin within, with the light we are. We begin within and expand radiantly, honoring the light within our souls and within one another. So just take a moment and envision that, even though we can't see all the faces of everybody here, because there are so many of us, right? There's so many of us, and we forget. We think we're alone in this world. We're just, one tree being threatened by the winds that are blowing. We are not alone. We are united. We are together. We are on this journey, on the way together. So let's do a brief process. Why don't you close your eyes for just a moment with your hands still on your heart and journey with me. Enter now into stillness. Enter into reflection. Enter into integration. If you find yourself right now, today, whenever you're listening to this, if you find yourself sort of awash in a sea of questions, then just be with that. Be with the swirling sea. If you find yourself lost or alone, then find comfort in belonging to all that is. If you find yourself emerging as a radiant sun, celebrate this day of awakening in your life. If you find yourself simply waiting the season out, tired and out of energy, in a grumpy mood, or rolling in the unfathomable depths of grief, whatever that is, just be present to what is. Simply notice what is and be with you in this moment. There's no need to push away the feeling of sadness or grief, anger, loneliness. No need to dampen your joy. Excuse me, there is absolutely no need to hide your light. Just allow what is. And trust that life in you. Trust the light, the life, and the love that you are to rise up. So consider for a moment when the skies feel like they're an inky black. Perhaps you feel lost or small or somehow insignificant in the seas of those darkening skies of our world or in your own life situation. Just be with that. Or maybe you feel like a shooting star in that dark night. And if that's your experience, consider, what does it mean to you to be that light in the darkness? Or perhaps your experience of that inky black night is one of mystery and wonder and simply appreciating what is about to be revealed, or anticipation. That's such a common shared experience in this season for many of us. So now journey deeper within your soul and look for the light. Look for the light. Seek it out. Put your hand on your heart and simply be with the light. Know it is there. Allow your soul star to rise and feel that magic. This is who you are. This is who we are. So take a moment just to express gratitude for the light you are. And know that this is you are the light that shines in the darkness. And still we have not understood it. There's so much more, isn't there? That we're right on the cusp of it, and yet there is so much more. There is so much more there for every one of us. So there is a light that is shining in the darkness, and that light is you. And know now that the darkness cannot consume the light you are. So when you're ready, open your eyes. I hope you just felt that radiance within you, that light shining forth within you. And know that you can return to that place anytime, in any moment of any day, to remember who you really are, and that you are the bearer of a great light. And you have come to be life. You have come to have life and to have it to the full. So life is an acronym for those of you who are new to me that I use often for living in full expression. Life, living in full expression. So how can I live in full expression in my own individual life? And as I connect and weave together with all of these other women in the circle of our world. So I want to offer some soul connection questions today for your consideration. You may wish to write these down and then explore them in the days to come. So the first question is, am I, where I am now in my life, firmly and fully rooted in the light that I am? So think about a tree and how the tree is rooted. Are you rooted in light? Are you grounded in love? And do you know the love that you are? And how can you more fully connect to that light and that love that you are? Am I coming to life and living in full expression? Am I opening to new possibilities for radiant expansion from within? Or am I, just reaching all around, trying to get it right, or to do whatever it is that you feel that you must do in order to expand? And what is your definition of expansion, of soul growth and expansion? So consider that a little bit in the week to come. And then finally, my theme for the year: what is your particular play of light? What is my play of light? And what do I notice about the play of light around me in the world? And what does that reflected light tell me? And what do I notice about the light within me, the light that I am, and how it moves through me? And if you pay attention to that long enough, you'll begin to notice that there are extraordinary, magnificent, and beautiful differences that oddly enough unite us and bring us together. And together, we are that rainbow of light. Each one of us, our own unique color, our own unique expression. And without every single one of us, that rainbow, that picture is not complete. So let's hold these questions in our awareness as we move through today. So one of the things that I did before our call, that's very exciting, I have a bunch of card decks, and I decided to grab the first one that I grabbed, and that was, appropriately, Healing with the Fairies cards. And then I drew the card and I was even more excited. So the card that I drew for our circle today on the winter solstice says, look inside yourself. And here's the card. I want you just to look at that for a moment and see all that green energy, that green Irish energy, and notice the graceful dancer on this card and sort of that tiptoe movement she's making. Notice the web behind her in which she is held. There's sort of a magical, wondrous quality to this. And then there's this, you can consider that, a part of a tree trunk or a portal to another world, or an opening, or could be a mysterious black hole. So just consider what you see here. What do you see in this picture, in the colors? What feelings arise when you look at this card? So again, it was interesting to me that the one I drew right before a call was look inside yourself. And that's really at the heart of all my work is, and I, by the way, this is drawn out of my own journey. What did I need for myself? I needed to connect within. And so a lot of my work is simply sharing with you that journey, being on the way with it, not having all the answers, trust me. I'm the last person to do that. But this card really, really spoke to me of a willingness to step into the unknown and a willingness to be present to what is. The actual card reading had a statement that was really meaningful to me. It said, sometimes when you feel empty, your first reaction is to try to fill up the emptiness with material possessions or relationships or power or whatever that might be, money, things. But our only true fulfillment is in connecting with spirit from within. And so an affirmation for this card would be, I find great beauty and light within me right now in this present moment. Whatever's going on, I find great beauty and light inside me. So I love all the green there, and that is the tree It's totally like the trees in Ireland. So I hope you get to come see that. So again, that was the Healing with the Fairies deck, and I'll put a link on the page with a replay to this call. So consider that. How might you look inside yourself as you consider those soul connection questions? Am I firmly rooted in the light that I am? Am I grounded in the love that I am? So how can you look inside for the answers as opposed to, scrambling and connecting or trying to just get it right? Again, there's sort of a frenetic energy that comes into play for many of us when we consider our souls, and it's really true that everything is right there within us. So look inside yourself. It's a good reminder. I also want to share one of the Life Seeds from the Life Seeds core curriculum, and I'm excited to share that my book is going to be available January online at Amazon and in stores. It is available right now at the website. It's called Seeds for Life, the Life Seeds core curriculum for living in full expression. And what this combines, it really brings together, I'm going to put my glasses on, I hope that you don't have too much glare. It brings together the original message that I received and shared back in 2012 after 10 years of fighting it around cultivating essence from the matrix of soul. And there are three books that explore that further. And this book, the Life Seeds core curriculum, brings together those core passages with the story of life that I created a few years back, which is sort of a multimedia presentation. You can find that on my website as well. So it brings together those two threads with a daily life seed and a daily dare. And DARE is an acronym that I use for Daring Adventures and Radiant Expansion. So I'd like to share one with you, and I was intuitively drawn to share Life Seed number 27 today on the winter solstice. And number 27 is about feeling the mercies, the tender mercies of becoming. So this is what it looks like here. Actually, that's probably not the best way to show you, so I will share that later. But let's go into Life Seed number 27, Feel the Tender Mercies of Becoming. So, from the story of life, we see our lives as compromised, as something less than what it could have been or should have been. Bewildered, we find our way back to the one undeniable truth of love and rest now in the unfathomable grace of second chances. So that's from the story of life. And then a text from the Cultivating Essence book, Awakening the World Within, which is the first book in the series. It's the one that looks like this, and it is available on Amazon and through the website. So from Awakening the World Within, this passage is called No Compromise. And just consider what's up for you in your life as you consider this passage. You may see your life as compromised, something less than it could have been, or should have been, or might have been. But somewhere it is altogether possible that some beautiful soul may find the courage to fly again simply because you refuse to curl up in the corner and drown in the tears you would have cried amidst the devastation. This is the pain of childbirth and the tender mercy of becoming. It is the miracle of conception and the unfathomable grace of second chances. Love may come again into the world, and that love may come into being beyond your awareness and outside the depth of your field of perception. But because that love is come, humanity itself is healed all the more. New life grows where once only nubs on tired branches formed to shield the few drops of sap left within the deep core. There, after a time, the passion of life itself stirs, gathering momentum, bursting forth eventually into a glorious spring. And the daily life seed for number 27, that core passage, is Feel the Tender Mercies of Becoming. Let me read that to you too. When we dare to rise up, take our humble mat or whatever we have left in the wake of life's deluge and simply choose life, we are never compromised. As we seek light enough for a single step in a new direction and dare to step into that light, not knowing where we will be led, but trusting nonetheless in the beauty of life's unfolding love, we invite a miracle. The trick is to stay in the moment and then just to feel the vulnerability. It's way easier to curl up in the corner and to kick or scream and rage at life's injustice. And we never know how our life becomes that light another may need when the life they knew is washed away without warning. So you can't see it now, the full forested life that may be when you plant a seedling in a field scorched by fire. Let yourself grieve and then rise to greet the new dawn. So I'd like to turn our attention to a creative tool or process for soul connection, bearing that in mind and allowing us, I want to invite us into actually feeling the tender mercy of becoming and whatever is in your life right now. And so let's play with a little tool that is called Into the Light. This is a soul essence art exploration. That's my fancy schmancy word for an intuitive process that just, it's a way of connecting you to you by drawing on the page. So if you have a piece of paper and some markers, get that now. And I'm going to walk you through how to quickly use this tool. And let me give you a quick look. Hopefully you can see that, and I will post it on the page. This is what it's going to look like when we're all done. But all you need to do right now is just follow my guidance. So you're going to take your paper and you're going to draw a circle on the page. And in that circle, I want you to write down your current situation. You might write the words current situation. And then write down some words or phrases, or even draw some doodles that represent to you what's going on right now. So choose one situation. It could also be a world situation. So you could choose something that's going on in our some crisis in our world. There's plenty to choose from, aren't there? Some crisis in our world. It's really helpful though to choose something personal for you. So it may be just a situation that's been a little trying for you, or perhaps you're feeling something uncomfortable. So draw the circle in the center of the page and write a few words about your current situation, maybe doodles. Come back and add more to this later. Then draw a second circle around the first circle. And the second circle is for you to consider, how is this entire situation that feels so dark and perhaps void of light, or you're stuck in it and you feel closed in or contracted, how is that entire situation held in light? And write a few words around the edge. I like to write these in a circle to express or to answer the question, how am I held in light? So here's the situation, and then here's a larger circle going around. You may want to use nice bright colors to represent light, yellows and oranges when you come back to this. But how is the situation held in light? And just write what intuitively comes up. And if you don't have words, that's fine. If you don't see any light, that's fine. Maybe just write, I am held in light, as an affirmation to hold the space for truths to rise up within you. And then the third thing I want you to do is to draw waves of light coming into the situation and moving out of the situation. So even though this core situation seems to be one that is you're grappling with, and it seems, that you can't extract yourself from it, so it could be many things. Also, this core situation, it could be that you're in a waiting place, and you feel like you've been there a long time. I know I have situations like that in my life. You could feel compromised, that we just talked about in that passage. You could feel just an impending doom or darkness or depression or an ambivalence or uncertainty. Or you could feel barren, as if nothing is bearing fruit. So whatever that is, just I want you to start drawing waves of light moving into that situation and out of that situation, and just trust that that light is, even if you don't feel it. So stay with that and just draw. Let your pen move. The key to soul essence art exploration is to keep things flowing and moving. Trust it. Don't judge it. Just trust it. So then what I want you to do, perhaps after this call, because we're going to move on here, but I want you to take each of those rays of light, the waves of light that move in and out of the situation, and I want you to write different opportunities for you to respond in light, to give light to, bring light to the situation, and to allow light to come forth from the darkness you see within you or within the situation. So this this exercise, this particular tool, which is called Into the Light, and it is from the Life Seeds toolkit that I'm still developing. It will eventually be available, and this is number 27. This is really about honoring the experience in which you find yourself, and trusting that the light is not only there, but that you are the light, and then entering into the situation that you find yourself in with that light, and then also allowing yourself to emerge from that situation by being light. So on each of these rays, ultimately what you want to do is just write all of the various ways that you can move into the light. So that is a tool that I hope you'll find useful. And like up here, you can see like these are representative of leaves. I also made them flames on my particular doodle here, because for me they are a fire that reminds me again of my light, and that new growth comes from that life energy, that light, that energy that moves through every one of us. So that's a tool you can use. That's Into the Light, and that Life Seeds tool is one that you can use in any situation to consider your options and to consider how you might take one step in faith in the direction of light, and to reclaim the light that is, and then to bring it to the situation, to bring it from the situation to allow it to flow through you, to not let that one situation, that one perceived darkness define who you are, because it's not who you are. So that is a soul exploration. I hope you have fun with that. I love doing this in person. It's we just kind of follow where the energy wants to go. It's a little more difficult when I can't see you. So we'll work on that in the technology. I want to do another creative tool or process called intuitive story weaving. And this is something that I use at almost every live workshop or event I do in some form or fashion, and it will be a part of our Soul of Ireland retreats this year. So this is a process by which we come together and we ask the questions, and then we share stories. And from those stories, a greater truth emerges. So this is really what Radiant Expansion is all about. Stories, as many of you will immediately know, I think as women we are story keepers, and we live those stories, don't we? We live those stories in so many ways, and those stories hold power for each of us, and there is something there for us in the living of the stories, yes, but also in the sharing of the stories and in the connection to the stories. And so that's what intuitive story weaving is all about. And I'm reminded of a Rumi quote that says, "What you seek is seeking you." And this intuitive story weaving process is an opportunity to see that these questions that we have that rise up from within us, the questions themselves are an invitation to greater life, and that life is seeking us. So often the questions are all about, essentially, how can we, feel more alive or more connected, or how can we experience something, life to the full or more abundantly? And often that very thing is seeking us, and that's what is revealed in this process of intuitive story weaving. So it's super exciting. So when we do this live too, there's something really magical that happens as we tune in to the signs and symbols. So let me lead you through it and let you experience it, and then we'll talk some about it. So the first thing that I want you to do is grab some paper and pen if you've got that, or simply watch this recording back and then do the exercise later. So get centered for a moment and just be present to your surroundings. Let your eyes wander the area around you, and then let your eyes be drawn to a particular object or a scene in the room, wherever you are, or if you're outside, just no rhyme or reason to what you select. Just let something call out to you, and begin to dwell with that object when you find it. Just continue to be present to it. And I'm going to ask a series of questions, and as I do, what I want you to do is to consider the story that wants to be told. And let that story be inspired by the sign or the symbol or the object that you've chosen. So the first thing I want you to consider is, what story does this object or symbol have to share? What's the story that's alive within it? What does it know? Where has it been? And what is it whispering to you right now? So just for the beginning of this exercise, just begin to imagine that story. What is the story? Don't worry about the beginning, middle, and end. Don't worry, this is not a writing exercise. Your story does not have to be complete. Just simply allow those threads of the story to present themselves to you. And whether the story exists in your imagination or whether you're beginning to notice that this is actually a real story that has been lived or that has taken place in some time or space, allow those threads to come together now. And then you want to pick up your pen and begin to write a very short story about the object. Just write down what you know. You can use complete sentences, or you can simply write down phrases or words, or you can doodle as well. Just allow whatever comes to arise. Don't worry about it being complete. Just be curious. Keep asking questions. So your story may be deep and profound. It may be silly. It may be wild or fanciful. So whatever it is, allow it to be. And then take a few minutes to form your story on the page. And I'm going to just repeat those 4 questions for any of you who are still considering your story. Also pause this recording and take your time in terms of writing something. So once you've found your object, connect in with the energy of that object and ask it, what story do you have to share? What do you know? Where have you been? And what is whispering, reverberating in you? What message do you have that you want to share with me? So allow that message to come forth in your story. There's a Native American saying that says it takes 1,000 voices to tell a single story. And that's really the magic of what happens when we do this exercise in a group, when we gather live and then share these stories with one another. In our Soul of Ireland retreat, we'll do this creative process in a group. And there's a little twist that we do in the group that is super powerful. And you'll just have to be there or join me for another live workshop to experience that, because it doesn't quite translate in this sort of a setting. So it's very powerful though, and I just really want to encourage you to join me for an upcoming event so that you can experience that. So for today, I want to invite you to shift gears for just a minute. So you have your story, hopefully. If you don't, if you're watching the archive, stop the recording, finish your story, let it be what it is. Thank the object for giving you this story. Even if you don't, if it doesn't make sense, it's fine. Actually, it's really, really cool to watch this process, because it may not make sense now, but I imagine there's something that will come from this story if it hasn't already. So gather your story, and then I want you to shift gears. I want to take you back to that essential question that you brought to our circle today. So if you wrote it down, you can go find it. If you don't remember, that's fine. Maybe use the question that we'll explore in our 2016 retreats. How can I discover more about my particular play of light? Or how can I connect to the light within? So choose a question, and I want you to read that question to yourself. And then I want you to read this story that you wrote from the object that inspired your story. So consider the object and then read your story silently and just see what wants to be revealed. So some of you, I can feel that, you're already connecting to those deeper truths that are emerging. And so what happens often is that from this process of simply being present to what is, to where we are in any given moment, there are truths that arise out of that for us. And often there are the seeds of some insight or greater awareness, some next step action perhaps, but often just an understanding of what it is our soul is trying to say to us so desperately sometimes, or actually desperate is probably not the right word, but our soul is trying to speak to us through these circumstances that, we are accustomed to pushing them away because they don't seem right. They don't seem true to us. And yet, even in those circumstances, there are the threads and the seeds of great light and truth. So as an example, I'm going to share, so my question, I did this last night just as a reminder of how powerful it is for myself. And I asked the question, the general question, how can I step into my love leadership, and what do I need to know about my particular play of light at this time? And I was looking above the mantle on my fireplace, there is a Himalayan salt candle, a small one. And I was looking at that and being drawn into its story. And I wrote the following. I wrote, I know of the secret passage and the days of our beginning. There, deep in the earth, we sat near the fire, I keeping watch, and you singing the song that stirred us. We gathered as the drum began to beat, and we rose up together. I remember the way. Do you remember the song? So that had great meaning to me, by the way, because it's fascinating, because that, as an example, that is a topic, of course, being, stepping into leading these retreats next year on this theme of the play of light. I've been living with it for a few months, just day in and day out, and in small, gentle ways, and considering what is my play of light. And I've just finished, my Seeds for Life book, which the Life Seeds curriculum is a large part of, something that's close to my heart and soul. And, so I've been living with this, and yet even still, that was so powerful for me to ask that question and then to do this exercise, which you can do anytime on your own. There's a unique dynamic that comes into play when we do it in a group, but do it anytime on your own. I really invite you to use this. So that is intuitive story weaving. I hope you enjoyed it. And what I'd like for us to remember as we move forward is just that we all bring these threads of experience, and we can learn from one another, and we can learn from what is right now in our environment. And what we see reflected in these stories, or in these signs and symbols all around, what we see is a reflection of who we are. And if we, the more that we can connect to our soul's knowing and to that light that we are at our core, the more those connections will be made in the outer world, and we will begin to connect more strongly, be more rooted in our light, and that's when the true magic happens, right? Just like that tree I posted, the twisting tree that I found on my birthday last year in Ireland, and the light is just bouncing off these roots that are growing up the tree. It's just magical, truly, truly magical. So together we are weaving this tapestry of timeless truth, and your truth, your essential truth revealed in any situation you're living through right now is a contribution. That is a part of your play of light. So just consider that for a moment, because many of us probably chose situations that are challenging, that seem, void of light, or perhaps at the very least we feel kind of overwhelmed or lost within it. You know what? Your choice to be present to that is a play of light. So I just wanted to share that. In terms of intuitive story weaving, also, I almost forgot, I am collecting many of these stories that people have written in various workshops and experiences with me. So if you would like to share your story, I welcome that. I'm going to be collecting them in a book called Women Weaving the World that I hope to put out at some point in the future. I'm trusting that I'll know when the right time is for that. But all you need to do is just write me an email, type your question, the question that you asked, or a version of it that you feel comfortable with. names will not be attached to these questions or to your stories. So just type your question, the object that you chose, a brief description of that object that was in the room or the scene that you imagined or the animal or whatever it was. And then type your story and send it to me. You can email me at dawn@dawnricherson.com or just use the Connect tab on the website. And I will gather these and publish them in a collection. What we find in the group when exercises when we do this is that there are so many threads that together we are expanded so much more. And there are often truths that emerge from other people's awarenesses and to the objects that they chose and the stories that they share. So if you'd like to contribute to that collaborative book project, just email me at dawn@dawnricherson.com. Okay, you guys, it's 3 o'clock. I can't believe that time went so fast. I have more that we could do, but I think that I'm going to allow that. Those two tools I hope were really helpful. The Soul Essence Art Exploration, the Life Seeds tool, and then the intuitive story weaving. I hope you enjoyed those. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out by email about what we did or I welcome the conversations with you all. Let me take just a moment and share a few opportunities for further soul connection. First, I'm going to call your attention to my website, which again is dawnricherson.com. And if you will look, I've reorganized the way that I'm sharing things a bit now. And if you will look for the Soul Store tab, which you should see on the top right of my website, and under the Soul Store, you can now find journeys and experiences, books, and art, as well as the services that I offer, and of course the events, the Soul of Ireland retreats, and other offerings and workshops that I may have. So a couple new books coming out in January, and they are both available for purchase on my website at a lower cost. You can just simply buy the PDF and read them at your leisure. And those two books are The Seeds for Life that I shared from earlier, which is an introduction really to the Life Seeds core curriculum. And then All Systems Go. I'm very excited about that as well. That is a foundational sort of encyclopedic work, if you will, that basically brings together all of these systems that I've been playing with for the last 3 to 5 years. There are 24 solar systems, and the goal is they offer unique pathways for connecting to your whole self and your soul self, to the light, the life, and the love that you are at your core. So I hope you find both of those books helpful. Just look for the books category. Of course, my art is at dawnrichersonart.com, or you can access that from the website. New journeys. The signature journey, if you're new to me and my work, would be 90 Days to Life. And that is a 90-day, as it suggests, program that connects you to the light, life, and love you are with that daily life seed and the daily dare. There are 2 videos every day, and it's a pretty comprehensive program. Anything you purchase from my website, you have immediate and lifetime access to. So the 90 Days to Life is the signature offering that I have online right now. I really highly recommend it. You can also find the Story of Life, which I mentioned. I think it's maybe $22. It's a low investment. The other recent journey I've done, I've started playing with in Ireland. It's been evident that I've been led to various places and situations where I have an experience or an encounter. I call them spiritual encounters. And I'm led to share those with you in some of the journeys that I'm offering this year. And my most recent one came out of an encounter I had in the National Gallery in Dublin. National Gallery of Art, in Dublin. I came around a corner and encountered this painting called The Taking of Christ by Caravaggio. And, Caravaggio painted darkness and light. And it was a scene that I was immediately drawn into of Jesus, Judas, and John. And so in a different light is my experience that I had that day that I share with you and invite you into your own experience. So I hope you enjoy that. There are also faith and spirit journeys for those of you who come from a Christian background or who just want to explore that stream. There are two faith and spirit journeys that are part of the treasured text collection and that explore the Gospel of John and then Hebrews, two of my favorite books. So you can enjoy those. It's basically videos of chapter by chapter, and then I offer an essential notes page and a little bit of reflection for those books in the Christian Bible. So finally, Soul of Ireland retreats. If you look on the website, you'll see Soul of Ireland retreats, and that first page for 2016 retreats, that is at dawnricherson.com/2016. The number's 2016-retreats. And you will find a 3-in-1 early bird offer, which is good through my birthday, January 15th, 2016. And that 3-in-1 offer gets you into the Secret Garden Retreat, which is April 26th through 29th in Ireland, and the River of Rainbows Retreat, which is September 20th through the 23rd in Ireland. So Secret Garden and River of Rainbows are the two retreats in the Soul of Ireland retreat series this year, 2016. And we will be doing different things. It's really the 3-in-1 offer also includes the day-long retreat that I will do on the summer solstice. So again, how magical that we're doing this on the winter solstice, and that's on the summer solstice. So the 3-in-1 includes that day-long retreat, which will be offered separately as well. You can enjoy the significant savings on the 3-in-1 offer through January 15th, and that is also the early bird deadline for the Secret Garden Retreat. And then the River of Rainbows Retreat's deadline is fairly quickly. I believe it's February 22nd or maybe March. For the early bird on that. That's the September retreat. So you can find all of the details and the dates and all that good stuff on the page. I really want to invite you to take a look at not only the places you will see, because those are, magical, and we'll have a great time seeing some of the highlights, and you'll experience, I'm sure, as I did, the moment I landed when I visited Ireland in August of 2014 with my son for a week, and the moment I landed on the land there, I felt the magic and the mystery and the wonder of the place, and that has only grown as I moved to Ireland last January of 2015 and have been living there, and I'll return again in a few weeks. Excited about that. I'll do some of these recreation circles from there as well, which will be super exciting to do. Something I want to share on this call is a really fun offer for those of you who do sign up by the end of the year, so December 31st in the next week. When you sign up in the next week, I'm going to give you an autographed copy of this book, Awakening the World Within, which was from 2012, and it was my first sharing of that Cultivating Essence message. And I'm also going to send you a little surprise, which I probably will draw from this basket here. So a little example. These are Soul Essence art minis that I have done, little paintings. So I may send you one of those. I am also going to I'm going to do that intuitively. So it may be that a different gift calls to me to send to you. So look out for a special package from me when you sign up for any Soul of Ireland retreat by December 31st, 2015. I'm so excited about these, you all. I want you, in addition to the places that we're going to go, I think I didn't complete my thought, I really want you to notice on the page the people you're going to meet. And, those are just the people we plan to meet. I'm pretty sure we're going to have some other opportunities to engage in exciting experiences and meet with people that will connect you in unique ways to the light within you, the light in our world. There is on the Secret Garden Retreat, the first one in April, there are some places that we're going to see that have been profoundly meaningful to me, and I believe that you're going to have your own experience with those places, and who knows, there may be some surprises along the way too. That's pretty much how life goes, isn't it? So I just definitely want to invite you to check out all that's there for you. I am open to connecting one-on-one with any of you who have questions. We can do that on Skype or by phone. I'll be in the States here through the end of the year. If you have any questions, just reach out. You can also email me at dawn@dawnricherson.com or again through the website. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. There is a separate website called thesoulofIreland.com, thesoulofIreland.com. Same information as what's on my website. But if you want to share this opportunity with others, I would invite you to send them to that website so they can see everything related to the Soul of Ireland. I'm super excited about what my intention is to create in the coming year. We'll see where it goes. It's so fun to look at how it goes sometimes and just to trust the process. I know last year I had my elaborate plans. Of course, I'm sort of a New Year's planner, although sometimes it's more like spring when I when I get it done. But I do enjoy that planning process, and maybe we'll share some of that with you all in future calls. But it's so fascinating the way it all goes. I could not have imagined a year ago that I would be even thinking about retreats. So it's exciting. It's a little scary, but I know it's going to be magical, and I cannot wait to. One of the things that's been a longing that I've had as I've explored, walked through my fairy forest and walked by the lakes and the castles and felt the energy of these places is, wow, I just would love to share this with you, knowing that we are connected as we are in this circle of women. So this is your invitation to come and meet me in the heart of the Emerald Isle and experience for yourself the soul of Ireland as you connect in a deeper way with your own soul's truth and radiance, your own soul star that's rising within. So as in this time of the winter solstice of waiting for the light, let's step into the light. Let's claim the light that we are, and let's be okay if we're not feeling that. Let's just welcome all of it and be present to one another. So because it's 3:11, I'm going to close our circle, but I do want to invite you to, you can post a question here. I think I left the Q&A open, and I will see that, and I will get back with you. You can also reach out on Facebook or via email or my website. Again, it's dawn@dawnricherson.com or dawn@thesoulofIreland.com. Either one will get to me. So thank you. Thank you for being on the way. It's just, there's nothing that makes me happier than to be on the way together. And thank you for your presence today. Whenever you are watching this in the moment, thank you most of all for your bringing your presence to you and allowing yourself that joy of knowing the light you are. So whether you joined me live or an archive, I'm deeply grateful to everything that you are bringing forward in this time that we're journeying through. And I'm excited about where we're headed in 2016 and beyond. So 2016, I'm considering the play of light, and I want to invite you into that experience. Let's play with the light, and let's step into the joy of being the light we are. Be sure to mark your calendar for our next Recreation Circle. Those will typically happen on the first Sunday of the month at 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time and 7 p.m. London, UK and Ireland time. So, and one other note about Soul of Ireland retreats. If you are watching this and you are from Ireland and you want to join us for a day of the retreat, reach out to me and we can talk about that, particularly if you have your own transportation and don't need overnight accommodations. We will probably open up Wednesday of our retreat to others. So just reach out if you're interested in that, and we'll talk some about that. Okay, as we go from here, let's close our circle. And just a quick invocation, if you will, an opportunity to open up from here into greater soul growth and expansion, radiant expansion from within. Celebrate the light you are and call that forth, recreating your life and reconnecting to your life's work. Until we meet again, may the road rise to meet you, and may you be rooted in your light and grounded in your love. I'll close with a poem. It's called In the Fullness of the Light. How radiant shines that light, whose streams burst the dam of despair and flood the familiar room with love's rising hope. See how it gathers, flowing in from roads long since traveled, pushing through the pinhole crack of soul where all the faith that's left is enough, inexplicably, to fill the basket of days and light 12 candles for those yet on their way. Much love, many blessings. Bye.